Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. You guessed it, today we've got another meltdown episode for you. Today we're going to be running the Stern Defense AD9. Oh, buddy. All right, this is a Glock conversion kit for a standard AR. Runs Glock magazines in 9mm. We're running their barrel, their upper, their rail system, their bolt, charging handle, and this one is set up to run off Glock mags, obviously. We're going to run 147 grain Winchester white box ammunition. We've got 72 pounds of lead right here in this box. That's just the weight of the projectile, 3,400 rounds of ammunition. And they're going to be loading mags in the rear while I'm burning through these. It's going to take a lot of ammo to kill this thing, I think. The Faxon really set the standard. We ran over 5,000 rounds through the Faxon 9mm AR, and we ran out of ammunition. It ran every round that we could put through the gun. Now, to be fair, that exact rig was taken to a machine gun shoot not too long after, and I think it ran maybe 200 or 300 more rounds, and the extractor broke on that gun. So I'm gonna go ahead and call that on a 9mm PDW like this, if your extractor is probably gonna, you know, at least from what we can see, it takes 5,000 to 6,000, let's just call it a really broad spectrum, 5,000 to 6,000 rounds to kill an extractor on your average 9mm AR PDW, especially in an AR configuration. Now, the bolt on this gun is actually pretty robust, and the extractor is really beefy on this thing. We've got it lubricated with Geisley Go Juice. We've got all brand new internals. This is a factory fresh gun. All we've done is test fire it just to make sure it's gonna run with the buffer we've got in it. We've got their buffer in it. So we're running unsuppressed with their flash hider. I'm gonna suit up and let's go for it, see what happens. All right, guys. I'm not sure I can really explain just how crazy this is. As far as I know, if this gun runs as long as I think that it can run, we're gonna set a world record today for the amount of rounds ran through a 9mm at one time. We have 7,000 rounds of ammo with us right now. I'll shoot all of them if this thing will take it. So, you know, it's interesting. It's a conversion kit. We'll see how it goes. I've got a lot of ammo to run, guys. I hope you'll stay with me. This is going to be a long video. Crack open the popcorn, break out a drink, because this is going to be quite the undertaking. Here we go. Here we are. I'm checking each mag when I jettison it, just to make sure it's empty, guys. I can feel that bolt locking back each time. magazine failure, failure to feed. Chamber is clear. Extractor's intact. I'm going to chalk that up to a magazine-related failure. I'm going to move on to another magazine. Mark that magazine. Definitely a bad magazine. The last round bolt hold open feature is a really cool feature about this thing. She's running, boys and girls. Guys, I think she's running. Oh, clear, clear, watch out. All right, so we have one round kind of dish up and stuck the bolt, but we got it unstuck and the round actually fell forward and we were able to shoot it out of the gun. We're going to continue the test. I believe the gun is still good to go. Okay. That was one of John's mags. You're good. I got you, man. Oh, shit. Well, she's running. Oh shit. Oh shit. Magazine failure, failure to feed. Our muzzle device is let go. Failure to feed. Okay, something's going on. We're only getting one shot every time. I don't want to risk a round cooking off. I'm going to try it one more time. And if it stops, we're going to call it. We could have a busted firing pin. There's no telling what could be going on, but this thing is getting to the point where it could cook off, and we don't want to risk that. All right, we might have had a bad magazine. That's all right, we're gonna keep going. All right, we're starting to get some issues. How many rounds is that, guys?
What you have left on the table is the 5,000.
Okay, look, guys. We diagnosed the problem. It ended up being a broken hammer pin. We replaced the hammer pin. We're going to continue the test. I don't think the uppers got a problem at all. The firing pin's intact and the extractor's intact. We're going to keep running the test. It's been about a minute and a half. And they're continuing to load mags. We're getting close to the 5,000 round mark on this. All right, well, it fired one shot again. All right, this is the last try I'm gonna make. If it doesn't get it through another mag a couple of times in a row, I'm calling it. I can feel the heat getting down to the trigger bow.
Gecko.
10-4. 115 grain Gecko 9mm. We've already ran through 5,000 rounds of Winchester 147 grain ball. Bolts to the rear. Now look guys, this is a lot of dang ammo. I don't think y'all realize how many rounds of ammo we're expending right now. As far as I know, this is pretty much a dang world record. I think at this point we're about 6,000 rounds in, and this gun hasn't stopped yet. Guys, I'm boiling here. And I'm running this thing and they are loading mags, and at this point I think we've gone over 6,000 rounds is our estimate right now. We only got 1,000 more rounds. I just don't know how much longer this thing, I mean, honestly, I feel like the gun will keep going. At this point, all we're testing is wear and tear on the components. I mean, until a firing pin breaks or an extractor blows, there's really nothing that can stop this thing. I mean, the mag adapter is holding in place just fine. This sucker is running and running and running and running. We had a broken hammer spring, which was a lower issue. And remember, this same lower has ran all kinds of stuff. We've ran full auto 22s, 9mm, 5.56s, you name it, everything. And that lower, I mean, I was just commenting to Chad earlier that we probably need to check the hammer spring on it. It was feeling a little bit light to me. And sure enough, what happened? We broke a hammer pin, sheared the hammer pin. So, guys, this thing is working. And, you know, when we did the initial video on this, I kind of really wanted to melt this thing down because I want to see how good it could, you know, work. And the Faxon ran great. The Stern is running great. And guys, you know, if you want a carbine that can run in terms of longevity, a 9mm, you know, PDW is really hard to beat. I'm going to go ahead now. These are some mags here that I dropped on the ground that we had malfunctions out of. I'm going to try them again. We got a few spare mags here, but we're getting on the bottom of 1,000 of our last rounds here, and that's going to clock us out at 7,000 if this thing goes. So I'm going to go ahead and don my apparel, and we're going to keep running. Okay, these 4 magazines I picked up off the ground. See if they work. Mag Fairy. All right, we're getting some intermittent function. I'm gonna try a couple more mags here. Yeah, Chad, it's clear. It's locking the bolt to the rear kind of like intermittently. I don't know what's going on there. Let me try a few more mags. It's clear, no round. Careful, it's hot. I mean, dude, it's running. This is the craziest meltdown we've ever done.
Try it.
All right, I'm gonna try it.
Oh. I mean, ejector, everything's intact.
Oh yeah, it locked the bolt to the rear right there without me even doing anything. I'm gonna call it. I mean, this is getting crazy. We're gonna make a final round count and we'll have a closer look. All right, guys. I know this video is kind of all over the place. We had some technical issues with the camera cutting out, but we had a backup camera, so you're gonna probably hear some odd spots in the audio. Don't worry, everything went fine. Look. This has to be a world record. It has to be. This thing went absolutely gonzo. It ran fantastic, and you're not gonna believe what stopped it. What was our round count, guys?
6,064.
6,064 rounds. That's gotta be some kind of a record. It's gotta be. All right, so we checked the screws on our magazine conversion on the lower. Nothing backed out, everything's nice and tight. The conversion block did not move. Everything's looking good in terms of functionality. We had a intermittent hammer pin change throughout the course of the video, and Chad, I have to hand it to him, was very fast, very efficient, and actually used the broken pin as a slave pin to get the new pin in. That was fast thinking on his part, so we're able to get the gun up and running. That happened around the 3,000 round mark. Guys, stuff happens. On the lower, really nothing to report. Yeah, granted, she's a little skanky, a little bit dirty. Now we are running the heavy buffer, and that slows things down a bit. You notice some of that ammo was running a little slower, and some of it was running a little bit faster. The 147 grain ammunition had a faster rate of fire than the 112 grain or 114 grain, 115 grain ammo from Gecko was running slower. Because of the heavier buffer, it's having to work a lot harder. It's not quite as powerful or as heavy as the 147. So you notice that rate of fire difference. That was the magazines when we switched to the Gecko ammunition. We ran Gecko and Winchester 147 grain ammunition. All right, we're gonna look at the bolt mechanism. Chad has took the liberty of pulling the firing pin out. Firing pin is fine, okay? The bolt face, not too bad. All right, this bolt, we haven't done anything to. I'm gonna we're gonna do a white cloth test. I'm gonna grab the bolt. We're gonna wipe it. All right, this is after, it's over 6,000 rounds, okay? I'm gonna wipe it real good. Let's get down in every little groove there. All right. Look at that. Cleaned up beautifully. Our extractor is intact. The bolt's actually not that dirty. I'm gonna attribute that to the heavy buffer, allowing that, you know, it's a blowback, allowing that bolt to stay closed a lot longer. You get a really consistent burn. Look at that. 6,000 rounds worth of carbon. Not bad at all. Okay, so it ran really clean. Firing pin looks good. Return spring, nice and strong. I don't see any issues there. Charging handle, A little bit dirty there near the end, but for the most part, looking good. Latch works. We jettisoned our muzzle device. That's okay, it came off. Upper looks pretty solid. Okay, we got a little bit of marring there from the charging handle, but the barrel, the rifling looks really good. The chamber's clean. I can't really report anything overly harsh there. The screws holding the fore end look good. Our ACOG, we actually marked the sight, and the screws for our ACOG did not walk out. So the upper looks good. All right, one thing I want to notice here, I push that forward assist in, I look in there, no forward assist. Okay, so we started having the bolt kind of intermittently locked to the rear. We couldn't figure out why. It wouldn't, you know, I would pull the bolt back and sometimes it would fire and lock to the rear without me doing anything. Well, we found out the issue. The forward assist claw came loose and was actually stuck and wedged between the charging handle and this forwardmost part right here. Kind of like that, up in there, right here, okay? And it was causing the bolt travel to be hindered. That's it. That is the only issue. Now the forward assist itself looks fine. It didn't physically break. It's just our little pin came loose and it walked out. It's safe to say, based on what we've seen, I never had to use a forward assist. You know, I almost wonder if this upper doesn't even need a forward assist. In this case, the forward assist, which the upper did not need, ended up being the cause of the stoppage. And if it wasn't for the forward assist, this upper probably would have ran even longer. It's just crazy. It's absolute batty to think about. I do want to make a quick mention. So, you know, we were getting all the mags together. I don't know what that is. Something stuck to the table there. We were getting all the mags together, and John over there loaded almost 5,000 rounds of ammo all by himself. So we definitely want to, this video is dedicated to John's thumbs, okay, because, you know, he's a mag loading fool, and he made it happen. There's a couple of comments on Instagram where people are going, I feel sorry for the guy that had to load all those magazines. Don't worry, we're listening. John gets his due, okay? Somebody had to load those mags, and Chad was back there being a magazine fairy, and our friend Jub was back there being a magazine fairy. So it was a great day. We got to expend a bunch of rounds. So thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned something. We learned something. 9mm pistol caliber carbines can go a long dang time. You cannot carry enough ammo to stop one. It's pretty comforting if you ask me. It's a good thing to know. It's good to know that a 9mm AR will go the distance and will save your life. You can't shoot enough ammo out of one to stop one. I mean, how long did we go before we had the first stoppage? 3,000 rounds? You can't carry that much ammunition. So really, really crazy result. Thank you for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you learned something. Definitely want to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters, those of you who purchase man cans over on the website, as well as t-shirts and merchandise over on Ballistic Ink. All those funds go right back into supporting the channel and supporting what we do, allowing us to take on projects like this. I'm shocked at how well this worked, and I hope you are too. Thank you for watching. Many more videos on the way, many more meltdowns, and we'll see you next time.